Hello to our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, everyone's favorite Orc Warrior, and it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And you know, just another day guys, just another day. What more can I say? Same stuff I've been doing. This week hasn't really changed up. The interesting thing here is that by me going down to a more manageable weight right now on the squat, everything is just kind of consistent. I'm not having weak days now on my squat. Yeah, I know that I've switched to a harder version of the squat, but it's been easier for me to recover from it. And so now normally Thursdays are usually one of those days where I have to bow out, like I've got to reduce weight, and I'm just trucking along. It's just fine. I mean, it was about a 2-second rep. And so, yeah, we're just going to stick to this plan. And some people don't understand what I'm doing again, and that's okay. I'll have to keep reiterating it. I am now using what was my max on low bar with a belt. I'm now doing it beltless high bar. This is the same year. So we're just going to use the same progression we did before, but this time we're not going to make big jumps. And because we're going to be adapted to doing the volume all the way through, there's not going to be any adjustments in volume. So I'm not going to have to deal with suddenly a higher workload by me adding deadlift in, by me adding in back off sets, because now I'm at a manageable weight while already having been doing these things for weeks. Now I can work on progression on this variation of the squat, which I think is relatively easy to recover from. And for some people be like, well, if you really want to be a good lifter, why would you do that? Well, you guys might want to look at some of the guys who do daily squatting. I know of at least 2 guys right now on YouTube, got YouTube videos up, or Instagram, who do daily squatting. They're proponents of squatting 6-7 days a week, who do high bar beltless squats with 700 pounds. Both of them have hit 700 pounds. So let that sink in. It's totally acceptable. You know, considering one of those guys is just under 220, that's also downright absurd. Now granted, he's peeled. I think his name, it's pronounced Perzetti, Damian Perzetti. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's fine. In fact, I think this is a good way to train. I like beltless high bar squat. So I'm going to stick with it for a while. I've did this for a long time in the UK. You guys remember me going months and months on end doing just beltless high bar. And that's how I originally got back up to over 500s with a belt. Did 508. So I'm just going to stick it out. Now I will say though, it's challenging to do these back off squats at the end. I know people are like 365. It's like, yeah, but after I've hit a heavy single, me doing these pauses, beltless, it leaves my quads throbbing. It leaves my quads throbbing, but that's good because that's 12 sets of these every week. And that's where a lot of my hypertrophy is coming from. I mean, my main neural learning is going to come from the other. But when you think about actual training reps, I posted a chart the other day, and people need to understand how these charts work, of showing that basically only about 5 reps in any given set are capable of stimulating upper threshold fibers. So if you train with your 10 rep max, only reps 6 to 10 are actually giving you the true training effect you want. Whereas if you're training with the 1 to 5 rep max, obviously every single rep is going to do that. And right now, I think that's pretty well where I'm at for these exact versions. So even my 405 warm-up, I'm relatively sure is at best a 5 rep max. So that's a training rep. So I get 2 singles with a training rep and then 2 triples every day. It's basically 8 training reps every day that actually are going to stimulate upper threshold fibers when you look at what I'm doing. That's every day though. So we start adding that up 6 times a week. You know, 8 times 6, we're getting up to like 48 training reps. Wow, I didn't even realize it was that many. 48 training reps. You know, that's as much actual training volume as if you did pretty much a 10 by 10 with your 10 rep max, which you would be able to do in one day. So in terms of actual effective training volume, that's really high. So yeah, I expect my quads to be growing. So everything's good. Bench press is good. Everything's fine. 2 more days of benching this week, and then we'll bump the weight up. My 325 pause was easy. My back off work, my 3x3 with 285 pause, easy. So this is just sailing along. Although, you know, I mean, if I start seeing a scale weight drop, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there if the scale finally swooshes for me, because I've been kind of stuck at the same body weight in spite of my diet being on point. I've been really good on my diet. And, you know, it's just kind of stalling. But I feel like I'm gaining muscle, so it's some recomposition and then probably holding on to some water. And that includes water in the muscle, so that might shrink a little bit as the scale goes down too. Even my actual size might. Uh-oh, I didn't even realize Nova was in there. Hey, buddy, what's going on? My orc dog. Yeah. He's going to go orc mode too. He took off. He's like, yeah, Daddy's making sounds, moving that bar. I said, get away. So yeah, he just totally wandered into that camera. Yeah, 325, pretty easy, pretty easy. So again, bench is finally coming along just from the volume. And like I said, we know the squat will do the same thing. It's going to be the same thing because my squat now looks like my bench was looking a few weeks ago when I started adding the volume in. So once we adapt, that'll start coming up and it's all good. Notice I've gone from general training to specificity on this. I did rebuild a bit of a strength base on this system using a variety of lifts, got proficient at rows, weighted chins, all my pressing. Of course, I still overhead press once a week. So we press once a week. Did all these other exercises and rebuilt the base, and now all of a sudden I'm right back over. Bench is going up, deadlift's going up. So I've taken that general strength and we're turning it into specific strength. Right? We're going to bring the squat, bench, and deadlift back up, all the way up. I'm going to be pretty good at these eventually. So yeah, I am gearing back towards obviously doing the power lifts. And again, I do other stuff. If right now I'm not doing a lot, I'm just doing cheek curls and face pulls every day, which again is enough to bring up the muscles that are being neglected by these main lifts. And yeah, obviously I'm not doing singles with those. I'm doing more reps. You know, 5 to 8 reps on cheek curls. I do around 15 rep sets for band face pulls. You know, 2 to 3 sets of curls every day, and then 2 sets of 15 on the face pulls. That's pretty much what I do. But yeah, there we go. I mean, the benching's going good. Just nice pauses, exploding. Got that titty power going. Because that drive out of the bottom is all about the titty power. People need to understand that. Anyone who's like, my bench doesn't make my chest grow. It's like, are you pausing correctly at the bottom? Because if you are, your pecs are going to grow. Now, granted, it's been noted guys with longer arms like me will get more chest development out of a lighter weight than someone with shorter arms. But it's only because there's more mechanical tension being placed on the pecs. You're just going to have to get even stronger on the bench to get the same amount of size in that muscle. And that's really all it comes down to. But it should be easier for you to lift more weight if you have shorter arms. I mean, if you only bench the weight 8-10 inches versus look how far I moved the bar. I mean, I've got a pretty good wingspan. Then yeah, you should be able to move a lot more weight, obviously. So, you know, that's what it comes down to. That's why deadlifting is easier for me and benching is harder. I've got the upper body of a 6'2" guy with stumpy legs. So I'm basically 5'9" with the torso of a tall guy. It's kind of comical. But, you know, it makes deadlifting a little easier. Makes deadlifting easier. And it makes putting size on my chest and back easier too, because I've got a lot of space to work with. It's just with the lanky arms, it's hard for my arms to look particularly big. Yeah, is what it is. One reason I don't make for a good bodybuilder, right? You know, the deadlift went fine as far as this stuff goes. You guys will see at the end because I'm not going to have much time to talk. The 425 rolled out of my hands today on my double overhand. It just did. And it's because I'm just fatigued. My head wasn't in it. I was thinking about something totally different and got distracted and said, oh, God, I got to go do that double overhand real quick. And I ran in and did it. I wasn't focused. Plus, my grip strength is probably getting fatigued at this point in the week. So, multiple factors going on. So I'm probably getting some fatigue that contributed. I wasn't focused as much as I should either. So that's my fault. That's not one of those, oh, I had a bad day. It's like that people make. It's like, no, man, I seriously didn't focus, and I have no one to blame but myself for it rolling. You know, I mean, I probably could have gotten it had I focused more, maybe if I had not been as fatigued also. Who knows? But yeah, I missed my 425 double overhand today, but I've been getting it every other day this week. So again, my grip might be kind of crapping out on me for the week. You know, but I am pushing it pretty hard. All the hook grip, all the double overhand. It's probably taking its toll, you know, doing this stuff every day, you know. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, the 535 strap pull wasn't bad today. Pretty easy. I don't know. I would like to see it a little faster. I'd like to see it a little faster, but what you're going to do is I'm getting later into the week. So, and then here's my missed 425 double overhand, rolled right out of my hands. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.